Hi, everyone. My name is Anna, and welcome to today's message. Today's message is Angels Among Us from Psalm 91:11 and 12. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. Do you believe in angels? Well, I'm here to tell you that you should. In fact, the Bible tells you specifically that God will command them to protect you. Angels are just one of the ways that God acts in our world. But have you ever seen one? Well, I haven't. But I have read a lot of stories about people who have claimed to see them. And I've seen many depictions of them, even supposed photographs of them. And every time I see these angels, they are seen as sweet, gentle, human-like figures with open arms and beautiful wings, halos, flowing hair, and glowing in golden light. And since angels can take many forms, perhaps this is how they want us to see them, in a way that we can relate to and that we can comprehend. In my mind, I've always seen them as magnificent creatures in white robes, being kind and sweet. Someone once showed me a photo of someone that nobody in their family really knew, but it was in a framed photo, and they had no idea where it had come from. He chose to take this as his guardian angel because he was going through a hard time, and he had asked God to bring him an angel. I had to giggle a little because, ironically enough, the photo looked a lot like me, which frankly was flattering. But I have since changed my mind, and I would like to explain why. I have learned that Scripture does not describe angels this way. In fact, they can be downright disturbing and even cryptic. And they have multiple sets of wings covered in eyes, they shoot lightning, and they dash around at the speed of light. They are given distinct titles and purposes, and though the majority of them are not named or described, they do act on behalf of God. And they most often appear holding swords. They are intimidating, but they are humble, loyal, and loving. They love God, and they respect and glorify Him. They are not our dead loved ones, and we do not become angels when we die. And they are not praised or worshiped. And I feel like I really need to share the truth about them. Now, a few have names, and we hear about some of them in biblical scripture. The three most known angels are the archangels Michael, who is the great protector, Gabriel, who interprets visions, and Raphael, who is known for expelling demons. And there are some others as well, but they are discussed less. Then there are the cherubim. These cute little chubby guys that we see in photos with arrows, mostly making their appearance around Valentine's Day. These little guys are, in fact, terrifying and fearsome, and honestly, they don't even like humans. In Genesis, they appear flaming, turning swords to guard the Garden of Eden and anyone who might try to get back in after Adam and Eve were expelled. They are described as having wings louder than God's voice, with eyes over their entire bodies, having 4 faces, one of an ox, a human, a lion, and an eagle. Now, these not-so-sweet little maniacs are the same ones who adorn the Ark of the Covenant, the curtains of the tabernacle, and Solomon's temple. And they are required to guard against trespassers who try to go where they just don't belong. Then we have seraphim, fiery 6-winged beings that stand in the presence of God with one set of wings over their eyes, one that covers their feet, and another that allows them to fly around the throne of God. Their primary existence is to worship and exalt God's holiness, and they are continually singing, "Holy, holy, holy," to one another. Because they are so close to God, they are the highest of the angel beings. The living creatures are cherubim and closely resemble seraphim, with 6 wings and covered eyes. They are closely accompanied by thrones, who are described as a wheel within a wheel, burning like a gleaming barrel and full of eyes all around, and totally inhuman in appearance. They have a throne the color of sapphire above their heads, and when one wheel moves, the others move with it. Now, angels are ministering spirits sent out to serve those who will be saved. They speak to many people in the Bible. They deliver messages and quotes from God. And occasionally, they even speak for God directly. We can read how they rescued Lot and his family. They nearly destroyed Jerusalem for David's sin. And they slaughtered 185,000 Assyrian soldiers in one night. They often appear in dreams, and they are disorienting. And they are the ones who will separate the saved from the wicked when God returns. They are immortal, they don't marry, and some are even evil. So if you're paying attention, let me just give you a little recap. They are fierce, they are massive, fiery, shiny, they wield swords, and they can be destructive. Some are good and some are bad, being led by Satan. But it is not clear which are which. So you have to be able to discern which ones they are. So I'll ask you, how you feeling about those angels right about now? Though God commands his angels to guard those who will be saved, it doesn't guarantee your health or your safety. But honestly, with Satan meandering around, I can see why they have to be so fierce. Life can be dangerous, and Satan will attempt in every way to derail you. He'll hinder your faith, make your life miserable, and honestly launch wicked spiritual forces to create as much warfare as he possibly can. His only goal is to hinder your direction, aiming at your disbelief and your sin in the very second that you feel weak. He will tempt you, and he's an outright liar. But if you trust God, he will send angels to protect your faith and shield you from that harm. Now, most of us will probably never see an angel in our lifetime. But now that I understand who they really are, I have to say I've been given a lot to think about. Seen or unseen, it's beyond my wildest imagination what might happen if I did. Either way, it's good to be aware of their appearance and ready just in case. So if you are truly a believer, you can find comfort in knowing that you have powerful divine beings watching over you, ready to shield you from harm, who are mighty and powerful. Just not as powerful as God. They are going around wreaking vengeance on the wicked. And they're not cute. In fact, they're straight up savage. But we do have to also understand this. I can't say we each have our own angel, but they are caring and they do take care of us when called on by God. They intervene in our lives, and that in itself is a wonderful thought. The Bible will say that we sometimes entertain angels in the company that we keep. Hebrews 13:2 says, "Do not forget to entertain strangers, for by doing so, some have unwittingly entertained angels." I guess you really do never know. But in the meantime, be comforted by the assurance of God's protection, unconditional love and care, and be shielded from harm by his League of Angels. My friends, love is the answer. If this resonated with you, please like and share my post. And thank you for your donations to my divine mission and for helping me to keep my messages alive. I'll see you next time.